It's the key of E. Kamishi, the key of E. E na 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 na. Key of E. Bayom Hamishi. Wow, it's really raining. Whoa. Foreign. Can you hear it? Yom Hamishi, first day of Nisan, and it's coming down. Anyway, this is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Thursday, March 19th, 2026, which is 1 Nisan, 5786, the first day of Nisan, 5786, in the key of E. Is that the right key? Thursday is, let's see, let's try it again. See? Yeah. E. I wonder what, how many hertz E is. I'd like to understand the different hertz, different frequencies of the music numerically. It connects, trying to connect it to gematria, to the ketoras, to the sound, vibration, harmony, harmonics, resonance, frequency. And this is the, wow, is that thunder? You know, they have sometimes, here in Jerusalem, they have bomb alerts, the missile, when they're sending Iran or wherever they're sending it from. So this is thunder, kind of sounds the same thing. I don't know which is which now. But there wasn't any alert, so I guess it's thunder. But anyway, this is the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Thursday, March 19th, 2026, and the first day of Nisan. Aviv, Chodesh Aviv, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. And it is coming down. Wow, it was a beautiful day today in Jerusalem. Beautiful day. Just gorgeous. Not too hot, not too cold, clear, little breeze. And now it's just pouring. Okay, this is the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. It's a calendar of Gematria. It's a calendar of the sun and the moon. Did I sing the song? I didn't even sing the song. Let's sing the song. Okay. E. I think that's the key, right? Let's see here. E. Yeah. E. Okay. Good. Into the realm. What? What's that? Into the realm of the PL-89. Into the realm of the higher time. Into the realm of the Messiah time. It is simple to sing the tune. Match the sun up with the moon. With the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. The two calendars are one chicka. Matching the moon up with the sun chicka. With the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. It is simple to sing the tune. Match the sun up with the moon. With the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. It's true. Please see Psalm 72, verse 5. Yeruchaim shamesh l'fnei reach tordorim. You will be seen or you'll be feared. I should probably look it up. But anyway, with the sun and before the moon, many generations. The two calendars are one matches the sun, moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esau, Tikkun and Tohu, and with that our work is done. Yaakov and Esau is Jacob and Esau. Like the Alter Rebbe talks about, the forces of Tikkun and Tohu. And those are all in this calendar, and with that our work is done. So that song is basically the theme song for this calendar. If you understand those words, if you have some familiarity with Chabad Torah and a little bit of astrology. I mean, my astrology is not extensive. It's not astrology in a traditional sense. Most people are studying all the planets and everything. My astrology, or my study of the planets, is, I like that too. It's a lot. It's a lot of information, and there's a limited amount of time. So my focus is on the sun and the moon. And it was, up until recently, and I might get back into it, planet Mercury. The sun, the moon, planet Mercury, and of course our planet, the Earth. And this calendar has two major forces that go back to Rebecca in Genesis chapter 25. Shnei goyim bebitnech u'shnei le'umim me'ayich paredu. There are two nations, two forces, two powers, two kingdoms, two... Can't think of another synonym. Two nations, kingdoms are in your womb. Of course, these are Jacob and Esau. And they are two forces that, they're twins, two brothers at that time. And from these two came the Jewish nation and the Gentile nation, even though Esau is technically a Jew. His mother is Jewish and his father is Jewish. So it's said that he broke away from it, or he cut himself off from it. That's what some commentaries say. But the question is can there be a tikkun for Esau? And that's what Chassidus deals with. That's what our whole long exile deals with. And this calendar takes the two forces of Jacob and Esau, represented by the sun and the moon, represented by the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar, and they're merged into one. Like the song says, the two calendars are one. Match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esav, tikkun to, and with that our work is done. That's the last verse in the song. And the way, there's different methods of using this. And the method that I'm using now is a study I'm doing on a type of math that I don't know if it has a name or not, but it's a math that I'm involved with. And if there's a mathematician out there and you've made it this far, I would really like to hear from you if the math that I'm involved in is in some branch. It's basically, I don't know if it's alphanumeric math. Is there such a thing? Basically, it concerns itself with taking a number and then making that number into a word in whatever language you're using. It could be English or Hebrew. I happen to do it in English, but you can spell it out in letters. They're just different characters. And then once you get the result, then you get the numerical value of that word, which is actually just the spelling of a number. So then you get a different number. And then, when you get that different number, you write that as a word, and then invariably, it's going to be a different number. It's always going to be different because the way you spell the word is good. The letters have different numbers, and it becomes a different number. So, does that ever end? The answer is yes. In my studies, it does end. If you take a word, okay, you make it into a number, or vice versa. You start with a number. Let's start with 74, let's say. Okay, and you make it into a number, you're going to get, and you use 74, SEVENTYFOUR, in the English Gematria cipher. This is when A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, like that, all the way to the end. Z equals 26. 74, SEVENTYFOUR, equals 170. Okay, you can take my word for it, or you can check it out yourself. Get your gematria calculator, like I have, or you can do it by hand. Add them up. That's how I used to do it until I found the gematria. There's a lot of good gematria calculators out there. 170. Okay, well now what do you do? 170. Okay, 170. Now what? Now you make that into a number, 170. You spell that out. Make it into a word, 170. Sorry, a word. Then you get that number. Becomes something else. 200 something probably. 205 maybe. And then but there's a time where it ends. You'll do that process several iterations. Could be 10, could be 15, maybe 20 times. Then somewhere around there, maybe more, maybe less. It depends on the number. You'll get to a point, from what I've seen, I've done this many times, and there are these certain numbers that as you're adding it goes up and down, because let's say it's counterintuitive. If you get a higher number, it could be a lower, like a higher number that's spelled out in words could be a lower number that's numeric, because it's based on the letters, the values of the letters. So a higher number like 300 can let's say equal 257, and then 202 can 202 can actually 227 can equal like 500. It goes up and down, but they usually stay around each other, not varying more than 50 or 100 points of each other, from what I've seen. But you'll get to a point that I call the event horizon. The event horizon is a number where after you spell it as a word and then you get its number, about 4 or 5 iterations, it'll come back. It will loop. Like for example, 240 is one of them. So if you take 240 and then you write it out as a word, and I write it like this, 240. I don't use and. You could. I'm saying the same thing would happen. It's just I don't use it. 240. I don't do 240. I do 2 and then I write 100 and then 40. Then it comes to, let's say, 216. I think that's what it is. 216 will be 228. 228 will be 288. 288 will be something else, or maybe it will be 255. And then if you write 255 as a word, it will equal 240 again. So that's a loop. So now it's only a matter of 5 iterations, and then you have it's your point of no return. Basically, you're in this repeat. So that happens with many different numbers, and other numbers can lead to 240. It's not just 281 or whatever that leads to 240. There's a few different numbers. So there's like different tributaries. There's different like streams of numbers, and they lead to these event horizons, as it were. And these event horizons bring you into this pool, this like infinite feedback loop, as it were, like the black hole. And so I'm curious about all the numbers, how they lead to these various event horizons, and what implications or ramifications they can have in the realm of information theory and data mining and the theory of everything is really what I refer to it as. And so that's the mathematics. That's not arithmetic. It doesn't sound like arithmetic. It's not algebra. It's not geometry. It's the closest thing that I could say is alphanumeric. Alphanumeric. Maybe it's combinatorics. I don't think the combinatorics has to do with sets. It could be. It's possible. Either combinatorics, or maybe I even went so far as to say pure math, because you're only concerned with numbers themselves. Not to applications, although this can have an application and should ideally have some application to information theory. But anyway, this calendar, today is the 19th of March, the 19th day of the third dispensation, which we're in right now. This calendar is always going to be in a box printed 16. Okay? 16. And the first day of Nisan, actually, I should have started with the first of Nisan, because now we're in a Jewish Kaddish. A Jewish Kaddish. I had an urge to say that, I just said it. Jewish Kaddish. There we go. It's like my sort of like twisting of a Chodesh. It's a Kaddish. And some people like they say Rosh Chodesh, So you don't say Chodesh or Rosh Chodesh, you say Rosh Chodesh. So I say Kaddish. A Jewish Kaddish is where the moon is dominant. The moon is dominant, so in Nisan it's a Jewish Kaddish. Why? Because it says in Parshas Bo, Take, it says, "HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodoshim." This is for you, the new month. It's for the Jews. So it's a Jewish Kaddish. Verstehst Yiddish? It's a Jewish Kaddish. So, Mash Ein Kain by Tavis. It's a Goyish Kaddish. Why? Because that's when Christmas is. December 25th, let's put it that way. I think it says rumored to be a pagan holiday, but it's also when the Super Bowl is. That's more of a Goyish thing. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying, let's just keep it at that for now. I'm just saying that's just what it is. I mean, Jews don't celebrate Christmas, but some Jews do, and let's go. All right, the Super Bowl is also in the winter, right? So it's Goyish Kaddish. It's a very throwing a football. It's a pigskin. It's like Esav. I'm not saying Esav is a pig. I'm saying that the Jews don't eat pig. I'm saying there are a lot of non-Jews that do eat pig. But I'm not saying anything wrong with eating pig, but whatever. A lot of Muslims don't eat pig also. So, a lot of non-Jews don't eat pig also these days. It's just not healthy. A lot of vegetarians and non-Jews. So the point is to make peace, really. It's not to make a separation. And so Nisan is a Jewish Kaddish, and then Tammuz, it's a Goyish Kaddish. Why? It's not. When I say Goyish, it's not bad. People think that Goyim is bad. It's not bad at all. It's just a different energy. It means nations. There's nothing bad about it. Per se, I'm saying if they're going to act badly, then they act badly. If there's Jews that act badly, then Jews act badly. But the reason why the summer is a Goyish Kaddish is because you have the 4th of July, which is like Edom, America. They've been very good to Jews. It's called the country of Chesed. The 4th of July, and also you have the 3 weeks, the Churban Beis Hamikdash, and the Romans were up. They were victorious then. Even though you had the Jewish wars, and they led a spirited fight. If you read the Josephus, they have some documentaries and like reenactments of the Jewish wars from 68 to around 70. That time, they really held out the Romans. They used craftiness. They really led a spirited fight. But at the end, God wasn't with them, and they were slaughtered, and they were exiled. And that happened in the summer, which is a Goyish Kaddish. That happened somewhere in the maybe second dispensation. In the beginning, in the first dispensation of this calendar, which started in 2012, it was just the opposite. At the fall time, Rosh Hashanah was a Goyish Kaddish. April time was a Goyish Kaddish. And Tavis and Tammuz was a Jewish Kaddish. There's reasons I gave back then, but it was a different way of thinking. And I think it's better to have it this way now, but I'm open to suggestion. Anyway, the point is that where was I? Yeah, the 38 is the first of Nisan, or the first of any cardinal month. Let's put it that way. And it's the last month of this calendar. I mean, still going to use it, but the work is going to come to an end, God willing, and all the dispensations will be complete. The first dispensation started in late summer, close to the fall. It was like September, late August, September of 2012. 8 years was the first dispensation, and it has a setting accordingly on this calendar. The next dispensation came exactly at Corona time. When Corona broke out in spring of 2020, I can even give it a date. I would say March 24th. March 14th, I think, is when Corona came out of 2020. But March 24th is when, I think, we could just call it March 14th, was when the second dispensation started. And that lasted 4 years, 2020 to 2024. Then the late spring of 2024, mid to late spring, meaning to May, started the third Kaddish, which is the third dispensation, which is lasted 2 years. And here we find ourselves 2 years after that, in May of 2026, just about. And that's when the 13 and a half year / 14 year study of this calendar, from its inception, its development, to now. And we really see this year has been something very interesting. There's a lot of planetary alignments. If you look in the sky, all the planets are like, I haven't looked at the astrology software in a long time, but I saw the astrolabe, and it's like all the planets are like crunched up in this one area, like in the, so anyway, so the process is that you add 16 and 38, so 48, so 54, right? 10 and 30, 48 and 6, 54. And 54 has a numerical value of 126. And then that's how the process goes. So I think we'll stop it here for now.